Hello, everyone. I'm Rara, and you're here for the BIPOC Charity Star Wars event weekend yet again. We're going to be playing some 10 Candles in a slightly different way tonight, and we'll be raising money for the Martha P. Johnson Institute, which is there to protect and defend the human rights of Black trans members of the community, as they are one of the most disproportionately rates of systematic violence focused communities in North America right now. So they do wonderful work and they have wonderful plans. I went and checked out their website today, and there is so much information there and so many resources. So during this horrible time of empire within our own modern world, it would be wonderful to donate to these freedom fighters and these rebels of the spirit that we have among us today. I would like to introduce our fantastic table and also say thank you to our wonderful producer, Calamity, before we even get going. Tot, do you have a name, and what is it?
I do. Hello, I am Tot, or Tot Coco, and today I will be playing Lydia Stargalos.
Amazing. Ian, do you have a name?
Yes, I do. Oh, gosh. I really wanted to do the whole time with it. There it is. What's going on, everybody? I'm Ian, or your boy Vic. Hey.
Hey. Logan, do you have a name?
Well, yes, Logan. Outside of that, I will be playing Dario Stargamos.
Those were the same last name. Amazing. Yuri, do you have a name, and are you also part of their family?
I do have a name, but unfortunately it is not Stargamos. My name is Yuri, and I will be playing Estrella.
Amazing. Incredible. Throughout the evening, there are donation incentives. I'm guessing they're being listed and that you can see them possibly, but if not, they exist to either give people or the table all like a reroll, or to extinguish a candle or light a candle. We will be doing 10 Candles a little differently because of the story we're plugging ourselves into. There is no dark approaching zombies at the edge of our periphery. This is like a story about total annihilation. So content warnings, everyone's gonna die on this planet. Everything, every creature, every form of plant life. I didn't write it, Darth Vader did. And so content warning for everything that covers. There will be sentimental scenes of loss. There'll probably be natural disaster type violence and situations happening, possibly player on player violence. Who knows how people want to go out today? I don't know them. So this will be an emotionally roller coastery game, but I'm not going to be shocking you with sudden 10 Candles moments of violence during scenes where it doesn't seem like it should fit. So if horror's not your thing, this will be Star Wars. That is no moon, the last day on Alderaan. How are all my wonderful players feeling?
I'm so ready to be so sad.
Why would we be
great.
sad?
We're
It's
not
a
gonna be
beautiful
sad.
day. Perfect. And if everyone wants to give me thumbs up when you're ready to let the sincerity move through you. Bingo, bango. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a planet named Alderaan, located in a solar system of the same name and known to the galaxy as the planet of beauty. It is a lush and gorgeous world covered mostly by water and mountains and green, lush landscape. It's home to 2 billion, 95% of them being human. The cities on Alderaan were carefully designed with the natural beauty of their environment. The capital, Aldera, is actually on an island surrounded by a lake in a mountain region, and it's carved from the white stone, synth stone, in the design of like the cloud cities. It is of the same architecture, so everything is beautiful here in the Triple Horn Mountains when we look down on Aldera. But that's not where we're going today. The universe is a dark place. but not here, in the city of New Hope. New Hope has been rebuilt over a generation, having collapsed in an earthquake long before from its location up on top of this mountain ridge. It's taken years to clean out the rubble and refortify it and get everything back and have people begin moving in. And just like ourselves, there's always more to do. But today is the reopening of the city. The healing is done, and we can begin to move forward. Truly, the future is looking bright. And we see a city waking up for a day of festivals, of company, of song, and, well, hope. And our story begins here with a group of individuals as they also begin their day. Lydia, when we scan the entire universe looking for the sound of your perfect heart, where are you and what do we see when we see you?
You see me in the cockpit of my ship. It's a very standard class X-Wing. It's never been to this place before, but I've certainly been here. This is, after all, my home planet. It's been a while since I've been home. I'm looking down at the place where I grew up, and it looks like a stranger to me. And all I can do is hope that I myself am not such a stranger that it will not recognize me in turn.
How long would you say it's been, or are you not one to count?
I've certainly counted. It's hard not to when you're leaving family behind. It's been well over a decade now since I was last back on the planet.
And as you're descending in this last moment of your scene and kind of scanning the familiar territory, where do your eyes go to find a point of reference, like a building that somebody once spray painted your name on, a lake that you used to go swimming in the warmer season? Where is the heart of the city for you from this height?
I think it's my family's ranch that I know my younger brother is taking care of now. I'm not really sure what it would look like these days. I can only hope that my brother's been doing a good job looking after it in my absence, but knowing him, I'm sure that it's been doing fine. Not that I would ever admit that to him. It's not far from the ranch that I know I'll have a place to land, which really is my main goal right now, is docking.
Amazing. Would you like to roll me 10d6, Ta, as you scan for a place to land? The parking is
Sure.
horrible around the festival.
Man, everyone's back for this festival. Parking's terrible. I should have gotten here earlier, but, space. Okay. That is 2 6s and 2 1s.
Beautiful. A success, and that will put us at 8 die for the rest of the scene. You do find a spot. You'll have to walk a bit further than you'd expect with all your furniture, but you may have baggage, but you may have droids and things for that. I don't know you. I'm not going to judge you, Tot. Sorry, not Tot. That is your name. Voss, as we see the ship begin to descend, looking for its right spot, and we scan the universe for the shape of your perfect life, where do we find you, Voss, and what do we see when we see you?
I guess if you scan across the area, it does go over to the farmstead that was just mentioned, and kind of outside of the barn or whatever it looked, you see somebody or something that looks like a dead body just sprawled out across the front. But they're not dead, they're just sleeping. And it's an older male. He has a familiar face. Like, he has a face that you've definitely seen before, but there's age there. And just sprawled out, and you just... morning. Okay, here we go.
In that
Daryl.
final, in that final moment before your eyes open, what is it Voss dreams of?
It's a combination of flashes. There's long, dark hallways surrounded by metal. There's humming that is distant in the background. You can hear footsteps that get louder and louder and turn into a series of marches. And there's a group of people that are responding to orders of, we need to go to this next sector. We need to keep pushing forward. Did you hear? Did you hear that guy on the bridge? Vader killed him. Another one? That's, what is that, like 4 this week? That guy has a temper. And then before he can open his eyes, he spins his head and he sees the helmet of a stormtrooper and he's like, ah, there's morning. Ah.
And over your cry of Darrow, there's the birds that live around this region, in this beautiful world of green and water and stone and peaceful people. There's no standing military here. This is a place of abundance where they have enough to give away to those communities in need. And over the song of the birds and your scream of his name out into the early morning, Darrow, when we scan this perfect universe for the light of your love, where do we find you, and what do we see when we see you?
You see Darrow standing in he's completely shirtless, just has his jeans on, and he is just waking up in a pile of hay in that same barn. Hearing his name, his eyes go wide, tired, and he goes, "Boss, don't drink." Oh shit, he already drank it. Oh fuck! And he's covering his eyes from the light as the sun reaches him, and he goes, "Oh no! What time is it? Where am I? What's going on?"
I found this bottle.
Well, I told you not to drink that bottle.
Drink the bottle. I know.
Don't
That's
drink
what
the bottle.
You said.
No,
You
don't.
said drink the bottle. I
That is
drank the bottle. The
That's
bottle's empty.
It's
The bottle's empty.
It was embalming fluid.
Huh?
That's not meant for. You know what? Your stomach can probably preserved your belly. You are probably better off with that.
The force is strong
Believe.
with this one. Is this a normal morning for you two, or is this sleepover after drinking more of a festival-related event?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Maybe this happens every once in a while, but around the festival time.
Do you expect your sister to come home today?
No. I have not seen her in 10 years. There is no reason for her to come back, from my knowledge.
I think I'll let you have control over this. Have you both written or called or sent hologram voice chats?
Yes, I believe we've communicated. It's just because she hasn't been here doesn't mean we're not, like, in contact with each other.
Good. Do you both have plans of attending the festival, Voss and Darrow?
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Do you live here, Voss?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think in this moment, like, Voss looks at Darren and go, well, I can't keep hanging around here with you, so I'm just gonna go on back to the homestead. You got any more of this, bottle?
No, none of that. You can't do that. You have to work off your debt, sir.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is I have nerfs that need herding. Come on.
You heard your own nerfs. I'm going home. I gotta change my pants. Walks away.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Moving down this pathway as Darrow maybe straightens up from the night before. Our vision pulls back, and Strea, or Strea, how would you like, if I've missed the beginning, how would you like that, Yuri?
Drea.
Straya, when we scan the universe for your perfect voice, where are you and what do we see when we find you?
Drea is in what looks to be a very nice bedroom. That is, if it didn't look like a tornado had gone through it. You find a young woman in a dress the color of the sea, with her hair very nicely slicked back. Well, it was nicely slicked back a couple of hours ago. Now there's errant strands just kind of everywhere as she is on the floor looking for something, as she's going through some of the piles of clothing and things with a bag in one hand, and she is shoving things into the bag while still just pawing around with her hands through her belongings looking for something in particular.
Would you like to roll me 10d6 to see if you find it?
God damn it. I did
Sorry,
that to myself.
8d6 because Tot rolled 2 ones.
Same thing, 2 6s, 2 1s.
Perfect. So a success, and we're down to 6 for this scene. What is it that you find?
It is a journal. Very tattered, old looking journal. She forgot that last time she was writing on it, she had gotten interrupted. Somebody kind of just came in unannounced, as they tend to do, unfortunately. And she had stuffed it underneath the mattress for bed. And that is why, even upturning the entirety of her belongings, she could not find it until she remembered. She goes, she grabs it, and just holds it to her chest. It has her name written in, not written as much as it's embossed into the leather of the front cover of the book. She runs her thumb over it and puts it in her bag a lot more carefully than she did the rest of her belongings. Looks around once, twice, zips up the bag, and takes a peek outside the corridor, being very careful to only open the door about an inch or two.
And the corridor is clear. You can already hear the sounds of the distant downtown being set up for the festival, where there'll be music and games and drinking and nostalgia. But you don't see anyone right here in your proximity.
She had asked, well, bribed, sort of, one of her older sisters to keep her parents busy, make a scene, cause a distraction. She gave her a very good bribe to not ask why. Not that she did ask. Things like this are sort of not very uncommon for Astoria, so her family just sort of goes along with it most of the time now. It saves them a headache, and it's better for her. She looks, realizes, yeah, alright, she's doing her job right. There's not a person in sight. As she hoists the bag over one of her shoulders, uses her other hand to pick up the hem of her dress so she doesn't trip on it as she scuttles down and attempts to make it outside where there is somebody waiting for her.
An attempt. Would you like to roll me 66 to see if that
Shit,
attempt
I
is
did that to myself
successful?
again. 3 6s, not a single one.
Fantastic. You are like a ghost. whenever you want to be. Would it be safe to say that the festival is not the most important part of your day that's coming?
It would definitely be safe to say that.
Fantastic. Lydia, you have successfully parked your fantastic ship. You have a spot. You've tipped the door droid to keep an eye on it,
Hmm.
and you're just kind
Yeah.
of walking out of the hangar, basically. What is the first change you notice about New Hope over the last 10 years?
There was a fountain kind of near here that was really badly destroyed in the earthquake, and no one really seemed keen to fix it at the time. It was kind of a frivolous thing, you know. Why bother fixing something like a fountain when people need their houses fixed? People, like, we need schools and hospitals and everything else needs to be repaired before something like a fountain. And even before she left, it was still broken. And now as she steps out of this hangar and makes a turn to get ready to head towards the ranch, she sees the fountain, and it's beautiful. It's got the same sort of stone filigree that the rest of the architecture on Alderaan has, but it looks new and the water is clear, and there's statues of there's statues of Ewoks with little wings that spit out water, um, which Lydia finds extremely amusing. But it's the fact that it's fixed at all that I think affects her.
Truly. You see the courtyard beginning to fill as a Dilf's flowery delivery truck all the way from Corazon comes and lands with beautiful bouquets to start spreading through the space. You see a few shadowy figures in the distance trying to illegally peddle Ewok jerky before the events really get going. But no one stops you. You see a few people do like a double take, wondering if they recognize you. It's been a while. We're going to go back to. Actually, we're going to go to see where Voss went when they left to get ready for the event before I slowly begin bringing you all together.
Voss travels a little bit outside of town. Not too far, but far enough to where it's not noticeable. And as soon as the entrance of the town is out of his view, he goes, "Ha!" Okay. That's fine. Okay. And then he like parts like a series of trees to an old retired TIE fighter that he's converted into like a little cabin homestead. And he presses aside latch. The hatch opens. It kind of sticks, and he's like, oh, "Okay, it's fine." And then gets onto it, and he sits down in the pilot's cabin, and he's like, "Whew, okay, well, it's time to start the day." Oh, jeez. And then he takes a side satchel from his like long cloaked shirt, and it's full of liquid, and it's the entire embalming fluid from the bottle, and just pours it back into the jug. And he's like, "Why would I drink that? God, okay, cool, it's fine." Changes his clothes, splashes water on his face. He leaves his homestead or this TIE fighter and walks back into town. And is, "Morning, everybody! It's a good day for a festival." And just kind of shucks and jives back to the ranch.
When your eyes lock your eyes when you're throwing the water on your face, well, I'll ask that as a question. Do you look yourself in the eyes much?
Yes, and it's every time he does it, it's not painful, but it brings up a lot of like frustrating memories, some that he understands and some that he just doesn't. And it's almost like when he looks at himself, he's a little older. He's got facial hair now. He doesn't remember where all of this came from. That it was just this, and he's confused. But then at the same time, he's just like, fine. I mean, it fits, I guess. I just have to make sure. Oh God, I can't drink too much at the festival because I have to do this all the time, or people are gonna figure out that. Whatever. It's not like they listen anyway.
Did you have a dream in mind you hoped to reach when you got to this age? Or did you never expect to get to this age?
What is this age? There's no that's not a concept to Voss in this moment. He did know that what he was doing before was not what he wanted to do, but I guess this is better than that.
I guess this is better than that. And we go to Darrow. How are you getting ready for the day, or have you already left?
I have gotten dressed. I've done a quick shower, which really is just going with some cold water over my face and get the stank of the day before off of me. And I'm gonna go into town proper after I make sure that my nerfs and my hounds are taken care of. I have hounds that help me, herd them around. Not typical dogs, weird lizard-like creatures. I don't know how else to describe them, but they're about the size of a medium-sized dog, and they don't bark so much as make horrible, disgusting sounds at night that do keep me up, unfortunately. I may not have PTSD, but I do have nightmares. And getting dressed really for him is just like a simple jacket, a white shirt, and some like black pants. He looks very nondescript to the average person, but he does have a just dynamite smile that shines brightly as he walks in and says "morning" to anyone who comes up to him.
Perfect. Let's go over to Straya. Where are you heading in your fast-paced, nobody sees you, bag over your shoulder, like little adventure racket you're off to?
Drea heads down. Not through the front door. Not through the servant doors either. But down to where they keep the ships. Their version of a garage, I suppose. They do live on a hill. And so they come out of the side of the mountain. I don't know, Dad spent a lot of money on that. Very useless if you ask me. And she heads down to the bay. She, once again, opens the door and peeks. And nothing there but ships. Couple. She goes inside, very quietly closes the door behind her. And sneakily sneaks.
Would you like to give me 66 rolling as you sneak across Dad's 6-ship garage hangar?
That is 1611.
Fantastic. Success. You do see one of the service droids just kind of go around the bend and out of your sight, like they left the room as you came into it, but you don't see anyone actually within the space.
Lovely. She grabs her skirt again and comes out to next to, obviously, the giant door that opens on the side of the hill to let the ships out. There is a smaller one where usually the people that work on the ships come in and out, bring parts, repairs, to clean them. I don't know why, but they do. Dad's a weird man. And she heads over to that entrance, or in her case, exit.
Straya, the same question I had for Lydia when looking down at the city. When you look out into this world from like the door about opening in front of you, like where is your heart in New Hope? Where do your eyes go? What do you hope to see?
She opens that door and looks out to the expanse in front of her. She does not look towards the city. She does not look towards the people, the small roads. She does not look to anything on Alderaan. As soon as she opens that door, she looks up. Sky. The stars that she was named after, but has never been among. And she feels that her hope, that her dream of one day getting off this planet and being among them, getting to know them and traveling between them, feels so much closer than it ever has. As she stands outside that door, just holding her bag and waiting for someone.
Would you say this is more of a running towards or running away from situation?
Percent both. She is running towards the sky. She is running towards a dream. She is running away from not necessarily her family, but those invisible shackles that have always held her here on the ground. She is not the first daughter, or the second, or the third for that matter, and is not very important in the family. She actually does much of absolutely nothing except wear pretty dresses and stand there behind her older sisters and her parents. And so you would think she'd be able to do whatever she wants, but she doesn't. She's not allowed to do anything in the off chance that it'll besmirch the family name, make it harder for her older sisters, for her parents. And so she doesn't get to feel a part of anything, and yet cannot make anything of herself either. And these shackles, this planet, is what she's going to attempt to run away from.
Would you like to roll me a 5d6 to see if the one you're waiting for gets here right on time?
I would love to.
Fantastic.
No sixes, but no ones either.
Beautiful. We call that a failure because you can't use your vice or virtue because there's no ones for those who are listening who have not played 10 candles before. So a candle at this point is extinguished. We will go around and add 9 truths to our world. But the first truth, always in this situation, is that the universe is a dark place. But not here in New Hope. Not Yuri, we won't use that name. Estrella, would you, since the candle blew out on your roll, would you like to give me a truth about this festival? Like, there's old friends looking for you. There's a cake you want to try before you leave. Something just adding to the world building since it's not a creeping threat.
Yeah. There is something, small thing, that she's been looking forward to. She can't get out very much, and has only been to the town a handful of times. But during the festivals, they do make a special kind of treat. Sort of weird, hard but sticky, sugary thing. And her family has attended some festivals. They won't go to this one because they don't deem it, necessarily very important. But on the ones that she has attended, she has seen them but never been allowed to go and try them because they're messy and it's not ladylike. And that is one
Fantastic.
thing that she's going to be looking for these reads because she knows they will be there.
Lydia, would you like to add a second truth to our world? And then we will go with Darrow and then Voss, and then we'll just go in that circle till all of these are taken care of.
Yeah. Lydia's missed a comm on her ship.
Just one.
For now.
Fantastic. Darrow, I keep doing that. Would you like to add a truth to this beautiful and fantastic day?
There is a traveling band that has come to visit the city, and they are not just they're very good and very popular and very famous, and I'm very excited to see them.
Everyone's been talking about the Outer Hymns and that they're going to be here for this festival. Voss, do you have a truth you would like to add to our story?
A small child who's overly excited about the festival ventured too far outside of town and saw Voss's TIE fighter.
That must have been an exciting thing for him. I'm going to add one at this point. The talent show is rigged. Sorry, that's just how I am. Straya, would you like to add the sixth truth to the world?
The reconstruction of the city was, although it's done now, was slower than it would have been otherwise because the mayor was embezzling funds.
It's true. That's true. We don't like to talk about it that much as a city just because we're trying to clean up our reputation. But sometimes during the path of healing, people will take advantage of that vulnerability. And that is a lesson we can all take forward into this bright and long life ahead of the occupants of New Hope. Lydia, would you like to add a truth to our world?
I would like to add a truth. There's a bar in town that Lydia used to go to before she left, and she used to sneak like a 17-year-old Darrow in there with just under the guise of, yeah, no, he's with me, he's cool. But there's a bar we used to go to together, and it's still there.
Does it have its old name still?
I think so, but the signage is new.
Perfect. Darrow, the last truth from this round from the table.
There is a secret militia that has been slowly training out on my ranch.
Is it just you and Voss?
No,
Okay.
It's not just me and Voss.
And in that
Two-man
moment,
army right here. Boom and pow.
in that moment when the first candle blows out, our audience sees a young man on the world of tattooing, starting up a speeder to go out looking for a lost droid. And we come back. Darrow, Lydia, you're both walking towards each other. You see each other at a pace, 100 feet or so, when you're both on the same road, one from and one toward, with Voss a little bit still in the background where you can maybe hear the sounds of Voss, but not understand the words of Voss, as they are also coming into town. Which one of you sees the other one first?
Yeah, it's a big gun. It's a huge gun. It's crazy.
I don't
Good
know who
day.
that man is. I'm looking for Darrow, so I probably see him first. He doesn't know I'm here, so why would he
Mhm.
be looking for me?
And Voss's noises do concern me because I know what he was doing
You
last
do
night.
know that, man.
Yeah, I do know that, man.
Do you run?
I told you
Lydia?
I don't process bread properly.
Lydia, do you run to your brother?
I pick up my pace a bit. I don't run really, but I pick up my pace and I try to catch his eye.
Would you
I
like
know
to
I
roll
probably
me
look different.
9d6 as you try to catch his eye?
Yeah, why not?
An
Why
audience, we're
not?
now at 9 because one candle is out.
Okay, so that is 1 6 and 2 1s.
Fantastic. That is a
Just still
success. How do you catch your brother's eye after 10 years?
Hey kid!
You see Daro like freeze. Just full deer in headlight situation. He recognizes your voice and he says, "Oh gosh, it's not Rocket. Oh, hey, what?" And Daro does run to her,
Uh-huh.
and just probably since you've last seen him, he has gotten taller. He has gotten more physically fit as he has to work
Mhm.
on the ranch, not by himself,
No.
but he has physically gotten bigger. And like probably one big change since you've last saw him physically is he is now taller than you.
All right. All right. Yeah, this becomes more and more obvious the closer Daro gets to me. And I'm just like, man. Okay. But I'm still like really excited to see you. So as soon as you're within like touching distance, Lydia's pulling you into a hug.
Fully
Surprise.
reciprocate. Full reciprocate.
Yeah.
Like hugs, lifts you up, does a full spin. It is spinning you around. Like, what the hell? What brought you up? Why didn't you tell me? And he's not letting you answer. He's just throwing you around.
Okay, you big oaf. Let me down.
Okay.
Cinematically, we see this spin. We see Voss down the road just like wide-eyed watching it like universes are being birthed just in open air, but also noticing a young boy making their way kind of behind you towards where you came from, Voss.
Like they're coming back.
Like they kind of followed you and now have stopped to turn around and go back.
Gotcha. Voss is still like focused on the two of them, but then noticing the boy spins around real fast and he goes, "Hey!"
Little feet start running.
And I was going to explain to what it is. Spins back around and goes, "Hey, kid! I don't get no love."
Voss, would you like to roll me 7d6 to see if you get a hug?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Roll to hug. Love it.
Roll to hug.
There's not a lot
Oh,
of
that's
threats.
1621s.
Amazing.
Alright.
Success. You can choose the level of hug, Lydia, but there is one.
Oh, it was
Okay.
for Daro
It's
because
for
that's who
me?
we saw.
I'm
Oh,
getting-
no, it was-
I'm-
Never mind.
I don't know
Daro.
that man.
that was my thing too. It's just Voss saw it and was like,
Amazing.
"This is gonna be funny." Hey, kid!
How big of a hug is this, Daro?
Daro is confused because I just saw him like not 1 hour ago. Okay.
friend?
On.
Hold on. Lydia, let me just take care of this. And
Uh.
then he goes up and does like does the quick pat hug, just very quick. He goes, okay.
Now spin me.
You just got
No.
friend zoned.
Boss, I'm not going to speak. I know what you just drank. I don't need that over my clean clothes.
I don't know what you're talking about. You suck.
Okay. Boss, this is my sister Lydia. Lydia, this is Voss. He's new.
What the fuck
You?
is you? I'm Voss. Apparently, I'm new.
Well,
Lydia
newer. It's
holds out her hand. I'm Lydia. I'm Dara's older sister.
I think when you grab Voss's hand, there's a moment
Mm-hmm.
of recognition between the two of you. Not
Mm-hmm.
that you know who he is, but he's like, that's
Hmm.
a interesting grip pattern. You don't happen to. No, that's fine. It's just no. It is your sister doesn't fly ships, right?
oh, does Snot Rocket fly ships?
I can't believe
Absolutely.
you
It's
haven't
not
let that
Rocket.
name go. Don't you, Star? I don't know you like that.
No, I'm just collecting information. At least y'all got history.
Lydia,
Well,
could you roll me 5d6 to see if you can read any history on Voss's face?
yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. I wish I could, but unfortunately, there's not a 6 in that file. I do have a 1.
Would you
Do I
like
want
to
to?
burn a virtue or vice?
Do I want to do that right now? It's only 1-1. What are the chances of me rolling a 6 on that?
1 and 6.
You know, that's really funny. You should say that, Rara.
Maths.
I think I'm gonna let the moment pass.
And a candle goes out. These things we know are true. The universe is a dark place, but not here in New Hope. Our biggest threat is, who is that guy? He looks familiar. Lydia, could you give me a truth?
Ooh. See, this is fun because I can just say anything.
Mhm.
I think even though Lydia doesn't necessarily recognize Voss, he's older than the picture, or I guess the holograms of clones that I've seen. So I wouldn't necessarily recognize him. Your grip is also the grip of a pilot. And there's some calluses on your hand that make me think that you know how to shoot. That's what I know. That's true. That's a true thing that I know.
That is true. All of that is true. Dara, would you like to add any truth to this situation here at the hug crossroads of the universe?
I think a truth specifically at this crossroad is that as we've been talking and reacquainting ourselves, more people that are familiar with Lydia have shown up and have made that recognition. Whether or not they're nosy is all, I don't know. I don't know exactly the town politics here, but I'm going to put in the truth that this news is spreading.
Fantastic. Is it me? No, it's Voss. It's Voss now. Or is it me? I'm after Voss. Voss, would you like to give us a truth for the world?
In the back of a mechanic's warehouse, there is a very small box. Not small enough for jewelry, but small enough to hold a very important part to a very large project that Voss knows about. And he's very proud of the work that he did on that, knowing what it's going for.
Of course. I mean, how could the world be any other way than that? I'm going to say that, Straya, your ride isn't just late on accident. And Straya, do you have a truth you'd like to add to our
That's
world?
it. That's all you're gonna give me, Rara.
Mhm.
God damn it.
I mean, you can add to it. You just can't undo it.
Mm. Truth. Somebody one of her sisters figured out what Straya was trying to do.
I didn't want to tell you, actually, when we started, but it's good that you finally know. Lydia, do you have a truth you would like to add to this world? And then Darrow. You're mute. Oh, I'm sorry, you're perfect.
Yeah, I'm perfect. That's my truth. No.
That's perfect.
I think I said I was going to come home a lot sooner than I did.
I mean, that's true. People talk. There's a lot of guesses to why. Some are that you joined the Empire. Others are that you joined the Rebellion. Darrow, the final truth for this round.
I knew that Lydia has joined the rebellion. And in fact, I'm a contact for them in Alderaan.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I've seen those files that we don't really show people, and you were listed. So
Oh
that
my
makes a
God.
lot of sense.
It's
And
a
the
family
final
business.
and the final truth is that we are alive. And in that moment when the second candle blows out, we see that same young man from earlier sitting in kind of like a cave home across the way from an older man with white hair and brown robes, who's looking at him and says, "I knew your father." And then we come back. Straya, you wait that first 5 minutes of, like, sometimes things just take a second. Once it hits like 15, and you've seen a few, not even servants, but people kind of moving on the street in the distance towards the festival, like the street's starting to fill up more than they would on like an average day. What is the feeling that comes over you, and what do you do about it?
She is very nervous. Usually, when she sneaks out, he's here before she is, and he leads the way down to the town. And, she sort of knows the way. It's been a couple of times, but she's not nervous for herself. A little bit. There's a lot of people. Somebody might see her, recognize her. She thinks about getting her cloak out to put over herself. But she is more nervous for him, thinking that something might have happened to him. She decides to wait a little more, but she can't afford to wait too long because she might be spotted here standing right outside of her family home. Now, if he doesn't show soon, she thinks about starting to meander her way to the town without him.
Is your dream greater than your love? If you had to choose between stepping into the dream alone or never stepping into it with your love, what would that choice be? Sorry.
It's one. It's funny. It's one of those things where you tell yourself that you're going to do the right thing. You tell yourself, no, I would absolutely do this if that were to happen. She tells herself that she would choose love. There's a small part inside of her that isn't entirely convinced. Who knows what she would actually do?
You can always find more love. A dream is a unique thing. we're going to move time forward just a little bit, a few minutes, enough that you're all sort of entering into the quad area of downtown, like the large space from two or three different roads. Maybe Straya coming a little slower than everyone, kind of more looking than like participating, or just lost in this moment of not knowing what to do. Um, how would we find the other triplets at the, let's say Straya enters a very public space. There are 100, if not more people, like in the courtyard. If her eyes were drawn to the three of you, where would you be in this bonanza? There are games, there's drinking, there's food, there's music. It's beginning.
We'd probably want to be catching up, so I imagine we'd be
Mm,
on our way to food and drink and the like,
mhm.
along with boss. If if he's keen to hang out with us.
I'm down to vibe.
Boss, you hungry?
Well,
Always. For some
Don't
reason,
worry.
he's just enjoying the music. He's just like,
mm-hmm.
He's mostly harmless, a little loud, but
He working on the ranch?
he's paying off some debts. He glares at Voss.
I don't
That's-
owe you money.
You don't owe me half the bar tabs in this town are in my name because of you.
Those were
Oh,
gifts.
Daro.
Gifts? He's paying it off. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Come this time next month, we're gonna go ahead and sell a bunch of our nerfs. It's gonna be great. You need to come down to the ranch after this. After we get some catch up. You gotta see. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not planning on rushing off immediately. I do want to see what's become of our little hometown the time we've been gone. Things look good.
Yeah, it's been good here. It's been real good here.
Yeah? You've been okay?
Yeah, considering. And he kind of looks up into the sky and just,
Yeah. Lydia, like nods in understanding. Yeah. But
Looking at.
it looking into the sky, boss.
Weird.
Like
A
it's
bell
mostly harmless.
rings out as a wedding comes into the courtyard, just exiting a building, hopeful and happy to begin this new part of a life filled with love and dreams and a path forward to hopefully somewhere better than we began. There's a hoot and a holler from strangers and friends of the party as they've kind of made the festival the setting for their after wedding. You see a very happy double mask couple coming out, both wearing matching suits but with different ties. As you can see, that one was not born here on Alderaan, but has more of a Coruscant style to their ascot. Everyone screams out and they bring out gifts, little things from like the party around them. They're taking shots of strange little blue liquid as music begins on a stage where there will be competitions and songs and dancing through the day. You all are in this space in almost like a cinematic slow motion, jumping from face to face to face as some of the more festival games begin. Large battle chess, where these holograms kind of fight each other on a checkered board. There's little blaster competitions and things of that sort where people can win prizes. They're not those types of blasters, don't worry. Not here, not on Alderaan. That would not be necessary. There is a microphone where people can give anecdotes about things they love about the place, and old hologram photos are being projected around of what it was before and the path to here. Every once in a while, you see a young Lydia. You see an even younger Darrow. You never see a young Voss, but you do see a young Straya as years are just going almost like a yearbook of the path here, where we can begin again and step into a brighter future without dark forces coming in and throwing off the harmony of life. Drea, you are not really, at the table. We're there at this kind of hipster bar where the potato wedges are in these strange floating hologram like chrome cups, and they're too expensive. Um, where do you put yourself in the midst of all this merriment when they're still not here? Are you waiting or are you passing through?
She would have, when she makes it to town, first thought would have been to head to the mechanic shop where he works. He tends to get really into his work and, again, hoping that nothing is wrong and he's just there because he lost track of time. It is, however, on the other side of town, and she does have to cross through the merriment. And she walks by, sees the wedding procession, smiles to herself, and, does all the just bidding of good luck and good fortune to the newlywed couple. Keeps walking and gets distracted because she sees the little cakes. And, well, he made her wait, so she can take her time and it'll be fine. She
And
makes her
you
way over, and the tables are laid out with sort of these cloth like ribbons and organza just all around them and hanging up from these poles of like little lights among the trees that are made to resemble starlight. As when the sun starts going down, they're truly going to shine. And I think that these lights are her favorite part of the festivals. They look so pretty when it's dark. She heads over, and there's this old lady sort of bent over, bringing out the trays of the goodies and putting them on tables for everyone who's walking by to take one and enjoy. She grabs one and thanks her, and then grabs another two and palms them as well, because they're small and they fit in her hand.
Would you like to roll me 76 to see if this wonderful old lady catches you doing that while the outer hymns are just beginning, a pretty solid beat in the background?
6, no ones.
Fantastic for you. Even if she were to notice, she probably would not mind, for you are who you are. Are these the treats you were waiting for, these exact ones, or do they taste different? Has something changed since last time?
She's only ever really gotten to look at them. And so the ones that she grabbed, she tried to grab all the ones that looked different from each other because maybe they're different flavors. She doesn't know how fun it would be if they were all sort of filled with different things. That means she could have like 10 or 20 and still have something new every single time she had one. And
Are,
she just sort of grabs them and then hopes for the best because she does not know. She's never had them before.
are many of Streya's dreams things they just reach for and hope for the best?
Absolutely, she's not the planner in the family. She's always had everything sort of dictated or thought out. Somebody else always did the planning for her, and all she had to do was sort of exist within the confines of whatever they planned, and as long as she stayed in that box, it was okay. And so she doesn't really stop herself when she can do things that are outside of the confines of that box and just does them because she doesn't know when the next time she'll be able to is. And so this and looking at the revelers, and I think there's music that has started up somewhere, and she sees other tables of more goodies and different pastries being set out as well. That she decides to just really, really enjoy it without. I mean, nobody will be able to tell if she gains a pound or two. The dresses are loose enough.
You can worry about that tomorrow.
But
Before we go dig into Voss for a moment, would you like to roll me 7d6 to see if he's at the mechanic? For me to know if that's where he is.
611.
It appears right now that's where he is. But it is not an accident. Voss, in this moment of like frivolity kind of beginning, like the tempo of the day, your movements, the voice, all the forward facing parts of you, how accurate is that to what's going on in your head at the moment?
It's kind of a 50-50, right?
Mhm.
There's a part of him that's actually having a really good time. The outer hymns are amazing. And so he's having a good time, but the other half of it is he's questioning Daro's sister, and they're just so happened to show. And he's like, in his head, he's like, they might know who I am. Fuck.
Have you been hunted
Darn, okay.
before, Voss?
Oh, absolutely. The first few days of his defection, if you will, were very stressful. He barely made it away with what he has now, and the only reason why he came here is because this was a spot on the map that, for some reason, was not touched. It was almost that it was quarantined for some reason, so it felt safe.
And when you said what Voss like basically got here with, what did Voss leave with? Were you just running for a destiny? Did you steal something to make an easy escape for you, or were you just running away from what you were doing?
He was running away from what he was doing. There was a point to where he was on another planet and he was just standing in the snow, really not focused on what's going on, and he could smell it. There was just something in the air that felt wrong. And then he got a message, like on the intercoms, that led him to an area to where he found out what that smell was. Just people strewed about. The white snow is tinted with blood, and he could just see other him, because we're all wearing the same uniform, just taking out the trash. But it's trash? Why does that word pop in my head? Why is that the way? These are people, right? And you can actually see him in the festival. He's stopped. And he's got that million-mile stare. I have to I have to go take care of something. I'll be back.
Okay.
How many
He does
different
that.
ways have you seen yourself die, Voss? Before I go back to the siblings.
Feels like 100 times. Whether it's by falling off of a hanger or being sliced in half by something. Somebody blew air towards me one time and I fell over. That wasn't fun. Blaster blaster. Hoverboard incident. Crazy.
At least you'll know what you'll look like. Lydia.
Still
Daro.
pretty.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what's up?
Daro, could you roll me 66 to see if you can notice a look on Lydia's face?
We'll find out. 66, you said?
If you would.
Okay. Let's go. Oh. No sixes, no ones.
Amazing.
Someone somewhere very kindly donated us some money
Oh, did they?
for rerolls, and I'm wondering if
I ain't get
those
no
are
money.
for if those are for the pool or just for ones, because it doesn't say.
Daro, you should re-roll that.
I'm going to reroll. We'll see what happens.
Like your whole roll, not just a few.
I did, and guess what? It's the same result. No sixes, no ones.
If you're out there, you should donate again. A candle goes out in this moment as you see a look of fear and knowing passing over your sister's face. I think after we set these truths and we're about to begin our next scene, that would probably be a perfect time for the break, as we are coming up to that hour. And the second half will move a little faster. Dara, would you like to give us a truth about our changing day?
I think a truth is I didn't know Lydia was coming, but I do have a bottle prepared for us to share. It is very expensive. It is very fancy, and it also happens to be something that our parents had in the liquor cabinet that she snuck to me for my first drink.
Adorable. Voss, do you have a truth to add to this wonderful day?
There's a shot missing from that very wonderful secret bottle that your parents left for you guys. Just a shot, because it was nice, and I heard you talking about it and how wonderful it was. I had to try. What?
I haven't even opened that yet.
I did.
Syringe through the cork technique. Third truth. Yuri, his name is Sebastian. And if you would like to give us a truth, now, Straya.
She. Oof. There is someone who's been not necessarily following, but keeping a very close eye on Straya. It's not a family member.
It's true. One could notice it from time to time, but only if they
Just
looked.
being watched.
Lydia, do you have a truth for us?
Yeah, I have a really nice truth. The wedding party, because half of them are from Coruscant, they don't intend to stay long. They have their own ships, and they're planning to leave soon, now that the wedding is over. As nice as the wedding ceremony was, they don't have time to stay for festivities and the like.
And that makes sense, because you can see them. You saw them when you parked. They had all those lights attached to
Yeah.
the back to project things.
I can't
Some
stand
things we won't
Coruscant ships.
mention. The birthplace of humanity, Coruscant.
Yeah.
Dara, would you like to give us the final truth from the table for this round?
I used to date one of the grooms from the wedding.
And in that moment, we see that dark cave home once again. A few droids, an old man in brown, and the young man, we now know his name to be Luke, holds a strange tube in front of him, and for the first time, we see a lightsaber. We're going to go to break before we get back to the final portion of this campaign. There's going to be an informative video, I think, and if not, you should watch one, because knowledge is power. But thanks for tuning in to Star Wars BIPOC Weekend here on Telltale Hearts. Did I get it right that time, Tot? Yes. And you should donate money because this is a fantastic event. I met Ian in this event last year, and we are like best friends now and maybe related.
We're brothers.
We're brothers. All right. If our producer is there, we will be going to break, and if not, we are going to make Tot tell us Star Wars jokes. Because Tot's my safety player.
Last year, this event helped raise money for Black Girls Code, a nonprofit organization that focused on engaging African American girls and other youth of color with computer programming education to help nurture their careers in the tech industry. This time around, our weekend-long BIPOC Star Wars TTRPG charity event is raising money for the Marsha P. Johnson Institute, an incredible organization that focuses on protecting and defending the human rights of Black transgender individuals by, quote, organizing our community, advocating for our people, creating an intentional healing space, developing transformative leadership, and promoting our collective power. With the state of the world, we want to highlight and reiterate that trans lives matter. Black lives matter. And remember that donating is amazing. It's fantastic. But only one step in making actual change. Actively being the change you want to see in your communities is important. Change in your conversations. Change in your advocacy. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
I'm already at the shop.
And then I learned that Ewok jerky is canon, and that was like one of the weirdest Star Wars. Oh, we're live. Hey, welcome back to BIPOC Star Wars Charity Event Weekend. I'm here with a fantastic table, playing 10 candles, raising money for an amazing cause. If you donate a bunch more, who knows? Maybe they'll all live. That's in your hands, and really how much you care about them and their individual destinies. But we're going to get right back to this as the festival here on Alderaan is beginning to get going. And we'll step away from it for just a moment to... Which one of you did I say we'd go with first? Was it Voss? It was Voss, right? As Voss walks away, or was it... Okay, deal. Let's go to Voss and see what he's doing, and then we'll touch base with Stria, and then we'll get to the siblings, the Star Twins.
Voss, after coming out of that moment, scurries over to the mechanic shop. He snaps himself back and he's like, I have the thing. Okay, I have to tell him how it works. Okay, here we go. Then he kind of shuffles over in. And I would assume that it's going, even though that it's a festival, people still need things. And he walks in and he talks to one of the head hands, or the owner of the shop.
There's a few folks here, not as many as normal, with it being the festival. Sebastian also seems more stressed than normal. A little sweaty, a little quick movements through the space, as though he's looking for something, as though something's missing, but also trying to not appear like they're freaking out. But as you walk in first, he's like, Voss, happy festival day. I didn't think you'd come in today.
Happy festival. Yeah, I have a thing for you. You look like you're missing something. You looking for?
Oh, I'm always looking for something, Voss.
Is everybody looking at? No, you. What? You know, you look like you're certain. Do you need help looking or finding something?
I just misplaced a couple papers I had out here in like an envelope that are really important, and I'm just hoping one of the other mechanics didn't actually take them with him when he went home today.
Oh,
no, what do you want to show me? You got me something, you said.
Yeah, I did. 1 second. And he kind of like scurries off to the back, and he comes back with this box. It's about yay big, right? And he goes, so, I know, for your lady friend, you have a thing planned, what have you. We've been working on that project. That project. And so I thought this would be nice for you and your friend. And it's in like it's a wooden box, almost like it was a part ordering crate that Voss repurposed. And when he opens it up, in there is it's a fusion cell, but it has a custom casing around it, and on the edge of it, it says "In the heart of the stars." And if you flip it around, "In the eyes of my love," and he goes, "I don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty good at putting things together, and I thought this would be nice for your friend. Also, it's useful, it's effective. You're gonna need it anyway, because you're not gonna be able to fly. But something nice for the two of you."
You see a piece hit the storm of his face in that moment, mixed with the emotions of somebody who's never had somebody older look out for them. And not knowing how to see you as the strange found family versus what other family do I have, and not really being familiar with those emotions. So you see almost a little liquid in the corner of his eyes as he kind of wipes the grease and things off of him and just goes in for a very sincere hug, and you feel yourself being lifted and spun.
It's okay. Put it down. Put it down. I did not expect that.
This probably took you so long.
Oh, days. Yeah.
Why don't you let this town see how much of a sweetheart you are, man?
I mean, I don't know. It's just look, this isn't about me. It's about the two of you. So listen, and listen real good. He gets real close. You make sure you let your lady friend know just exactly how important they really are to you. And you get as far away as you can, and you spend every light year you can in letting them know. Can you promise me that?
That's an easy one to keep, my friend.
Good. Because you only got 4 jumps on this one, so you got 4 times to let her know. So, get it going.
Are you just going to be staying here? Like, is this your plan?
Oh, yeah. I'm up there in years. And, the old knees don't work so well, and I think there's like a rodent that like flies by, and Voss from out of nowhere in this large cloak like brandishes a blaster and I'm gonna eat that later.
I've never wanted to pry, but it's easy for me to see the pieces that make up the whole of something. And all I want to say is, Voss, there's only one of you in this whole world, in this whole universe, and like, this is your one chance to be known. This is it. This is your one chance for someone to know you, and I really hope I'm not your only friend when I leave this place.
No, you're not my only friend, but even if you were, that's enough for me. If you know me, then I'm fine.
Gives you another hug, and you just hear, I swear I'll probably just see your face everywhere. I'm gonna miss you so much.
It's gonna be weird. It's kind of like if I was like a ghost or something, like floating behind you saying like, you're making the right decision. It's weird.
That was a weird thing to say.
Huh.
I think after this, we see Voss exiting the door, and we see Straya walking right up. And you two have a moment of passing each other in like an alleyway, hall, street.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Are we dancing? What are we doing?
Maybe later. Are you going to the festival too, Voss?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're still doing this. Yeah. You should. You know what? After you go see a gentleman,
right?
You can come hang out with a couple of my friends. One new one, she's kind of weird, but then I got another one that's awesome too. He's a nerf herder.
Well, they can't be any weirder than you, so I think it's fine.
I'm not weird. You think I'm weird?
Not at all. You're amazing. I think we'll see you later then.
Sounds good. Make sure you keep your
Her-
dancing shoes. And then he gives you like a gentle spin, like to get you like from to the other side. Ah! And he's just dancing away.
Isn't the world a beautiful place? Not Lydia. Straya, you enter into Bastian's hangar, as it says above the door, which was his, not father, but the one he calls father's name. And you see him still looking for something. What does Sebastian look like, Straya? Paint us a picture of this dream
Don't
come
run.
true.
He is tanned in the way that you know it's because he spends so much time in the sun. His hands have long, dexterous fingers, but full of like calluses. You can tell he loves his job, and he spends many hours. He is a little taller than her, and isn't necessarily muscular as much as he is like lithe, because he lifts up a lot of things and is always just to and fro and pulling and the wrenches and everything. But you can tell that he doesn't quite care as much about the world around him as he does about whatever happens to be in front of him. Very handsome, too. At least she thinks so.
And when you happen to be in front of him, he goes and begins dusting off a seat and like moving work rags and things like that. Not because of who you are in your position, but because of who you are to him. And he's, I'm sorry, I'm late. I lost the codes. I lost the codes. And you can see that there's like a panic in his face to be able to kind of get into other planets like areas and realms. You have all these codes you can run by. It was expensive. It was quite expensive. And he cannot find them at the moment. But he hugs you and he spins you up in the air as though the world will never end.
I'm sure they're going to be around here somewhere. It's fine. Have you seen the festival outside? We can always come back later and I will help you look for them.
In here, I did see Voss. He came by and gave us a little parting gift. I wish I would have said more, but you know how he is. He's kind of distant.
Yeah. He's an interesting fellow, isn't he?
But Revan said he saw some little blonde kid in here poking around, and when he shouted at him, he took off running. So I'm really hoping he didn't grab it thinking it was credits or something like that. You didn't see any little kids running. Well, I guess it's festival day, huh?
Yes, the children are kind of everywhere today. But you have not complimented me on my dress yet.
And he bows a deep bow. In all the worlds and all the universe, how could I have failed so much as a partner? I'm sorry, I was just blinded. I thought the sun walked in here, and isn't it a little early for a dusk this lovely? And he kind of takes out a dirty handkerchief and hands it to you. He's like, you've got some powdered sugar on you, love.
Gosh, do I? Really? I'm so self-conscious and just turns around like, okay, never mind, don't look at me right now.
He's like, where's the sun? I can no longer see. It is dark in here now.
I might have taken a small detour through the festival.
You
But
can
it's
take anything
your
you
fault
want.
for being late.
It is my fault for being late. I'd rather you wait for me in a festival, because it's always a festival when I'm waiting for you.
fact that I'm usually on time.
Should we
But
walk? I can let them lock up the place. I can just look for that later.
I'll help you. We'll look for it together. I'm sure they'll be around here somewhere. Okay? I heard
Of course.
Boss say something about drinking and dancing.
His favorite 2Ds.
I
Well,
think so.
let's go. Let's try to find you some of those cakes. You haven't found any yet, right?
No.
No, we should find more. And as you walk away,
Absolutely.
we just hear, "Have I ever told you that you're beautiful?"
Every day.
We find the siblings at a table, for the moment alone. Everyone's giving you a little berth, but this is one of those places where chairs will fill quickly through the night, being more of a community space than an individual space, but you have a moment.
So, you didn't say you were coming back.
Yeah, I thought I would surprise you. I didn't know the festival was going on, but pretty fortuitous timing. Say so myself.
You didn't know the festival happens the same time every year. You knew exactly when this was gonna happen.
Okay, this one is special though. I didn't know that everything was fixed. Nice now.
Yeah, it's been done for a while, but like we haven't had a moment to breathe. Repairing the city and making sure that, running water was running and it was safe at night and all that stuff, and we finally got there. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad to see you, kid.
No one calls
You've
me kid
done a good
anymore.
job. Yeah, well, to me, you're always going to be my kid brother, all right?
Yeah,
Even if
you're right.
I'm light years away.
Literally, figuratively, who cares, right?
Yeah. But you've been keeping yourself busy, which is good.
Yeah, keeping the ranch, up and running.
Keeping out of trouble.
Define trouble. Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, mostly, yeah. Mostly out of trouble. I mean, there's not a lot you can
Mostly?
always do, so
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm not in trouble with the law, but I might be in trouble with some people. It happens.
Are people bothering you?
No. Well, not here, but
Bro, what is going on? What the hell are you talking about?
listen, Galaxy's a big place, right? And sometimes it's hard to hear what's going on out there, and sometimes a man's sister doesn't really tell him what's going on, so he has to ask questions. And he makes some friends, and those friends, well, they're a little rebellious in nature, if you catch my drift.
Lydia,
Yeah.
could you roll me 66 to see if you have even heard rumor of a massive space station?
Yeah. That is 2 6s and no 1s.
Amazing. It appears you have. It is up to you if any reason of you coming home has been to warn anyone about the rumors you've heard, or if it's better to not stick your neck out and draw attention.
Yeah, but this is my little brother,
This is your little brother.
who apparently has been getting himself into trouble. Lydia, she's gonna lean closer, like they're mostly protected by like the revelry around them and the sound and how loud everything is. So she feels pretty comfortable talking in this place. Look, you're right, the galaxy is a big place. There's a lot going on up there right now. A lot of dangerous things going on right now. So, yeah, maybe a man's sister hasn't been keeping him appraised of all of that stuff. But I'm here now. And I wanted to make sure that I got to see you in case anything happened.
And what's gonna happen?
I don't know what's going to happen.
But
I can only...
but things could have happened and you didn't come here. Now you're saying something could happen and you are here.
A lot
What's going to
can
happen?
happen. I don't know what's going to happen, Daro. I don't know what's going to happen.
But you think
All I-
something is going to happen. I know that's how you think. You always think about what could happen.
The Empire has a weapon. A massive weapon. They're calling it a space station. I haven't seen the thing. That's not really my area of expertise, let's say. But I know about it. I know it's big. I know that your rebellious friends are trying to do something about it, but I don't know what's going to happen. It's supposed to be a planet killer.
And we see Voss being pulled along by a group of small children, begging you to show them how good you are at these blaster games. Maybe you could win them the small Wookiee doll that just seems to be really out of their reach. Would you like to roll me 66 to show off your blaster skills real quick, Voss, as they beg and they plead?
Okay, kids, hold on. Just, we gotta warm up a little bit. Oh, and we're so warm. That is 4 6s, no 1s.
Good God.
Oh,
Paint me a
okay.
picture of how you do.
So the main thing that you have to remember when you're shooting a blaster, it's all about control. You want to make sure your hands are steady and ready to go. So we're gonna make sure that we're good and we're gonna keep it. he grabs the blaster that's there, which is like a dart gun, right? Or a dart blaster, I'm sorry. And he's like, it's really important. And then in a swift moment reaches in his coat or in his long cloak and pulls out his own blaster looking at the kids and fires off 3 shots on all 3 of the targets and puts it back real quick. It's all about control. Oh, look at that. Bullseye.
A bunch of security droids like instantly form out of like water hydrant type shaping things and just kind of analyze and scan.
He went that way.
They're not reactionary. They see you and they scan you and it's like Voss in their brains and they just go back into the ground. But there's like a report's been filed type of situation, and you look and see the Stark siblings at a table very near to you as we see Straya and Sebastian making their way down this path to merge with everyone. Straya, could you roll me 66 to try to... The same question I've asked others, where is their heart in the city right now? To try to read that from Sebastian and where he is with everything.
2 6s, no 1s.
God damn it. You see him ready to leap into your dream because his dream is being able to leap into a dream with you. So there's a nervousness of leaving a comfortable existence where nothing will shoot at you, where nothing will starve you or threaten you. and to leave that for the unknown. You can see that fear is one of, this is precious, so I'm going to act like it is. And not one where he's like a coward. He's just worried of taking you both out of safety because your story could end early. Where here, you could live out your days. But you see, he's dedicated.
She would sort of wrap her arm around his to make him look at her really quickly. I really can't wait till it's just you and me in a world of possibility. We could really go anywhere. I heard there was a couple of planets that you were interested in. We could visit those first.
It's always been you and me. We'll see all of them. And I'll keep this ship fixed, and you can keep the more sensitive parts fixed. Is that Lydia? Do you know? Come here. You're gonna love this. Come here. It's an old friend. Lydia, did you and Sebastian ever date?
I left before he could confess.
Smart thing to do. Lydia, and you see a familiar, not as lanky, beautiful long fingers, and a tan from the sun, Sebastian, come up to you, but not let go of Streya's hand to come hug or anything. He will never leave her.
Bash.
Bash. Oh my god, what are you doing here? Darrow, you didn't tell me.
He didn't know. I just got here.
Classic
Came
rocket.
right out of the sky. Just came right out of the sky.
Was it in like a ball of fire again? Like, did the ship survive this one?
Okay, first of all, that was your fault. Okay. Second of all, the ship's fine. All right. Who's your friend? Lydia says, knowing exactly who this is.
Oh, well, these are my friends. This is my love. This is Streya.
Oh.
And he says your last name quietly with like a look at Lydia, like who would know? Like the more controlling families of the region. How's your ship running, by the way?
She's good. Haven't run into any problems yet that I haven't been able to deal with myself, but she's in the hangar if you have the time to take a once-over. I don't want to interrupt any of your festivities, though.
Oh no, we just came to see Voss. We didn't know the Star Twins would be here.
Don't call us the Star Twins. We have
You two dressed up like it. None of us told you to wear those outfits.
That was Mom's idea.
We have
and it never happened again.
We have like half a decade age difference. Like we're not. I'm taller than her now, and I stand up to make the point.
Okay, first of all, why? Why are you doing this to me? Maybe I shouldn't have come back. Maybe, you know what? I should not have come back.
You hear 3
Star
blasters
Twins.
go off as Voss finishes shooting at these targets and then turns and sees all of you.
Yeah, fully just shit the time. Hey, it's Star Twins. I need 10 credits. Please.
Are you holding me up right now? Is that what's happening?
No, if I was holding you up, I'd be over there, lifting you in the air. I need 10 credits.
Can you put the blaster down?
What is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with it. What's your problem?
Voss, we talked about this. Blaster safety. Remember and he kind of looks.
The safety is on. I don't know
Voss,
what's wrong.
would you like to roll me 66 to check on that safety?
Yeah. you know what? It's I can't do this because it's 10 candles. I'm gonna do it anyway. I choose to fail.
Like on purpose.
Whatever that looks like, it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just right off in the air. Hey, maybe it wasn't.
We've talked about this, Voss. We've talked about this. We've had classes.
I did go through the class. I have all of the proper accoutrement in reference to keeping it safe within my home. I don't use it only for self-defense and or to bring smiles and merriment to young children. That's it. That's it.
Voss, could you roll me 66 to see where the shot goes?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Brother.
Oh gosh.
Okay, it's 2 and 2. 2 1s, 2 6s.
Okay.
Oh, we're rolling so well.
We're rolling so well. We have so many rerolls as well. We can keep this game going forever.
I know. This reskitting issue is like, how do you make them roll when they're talking at a bar? Estrella, how are you looking out on this? Are you comfortable interacting with people not of your class? And not in like a snobby way, but does it make you feel awkward? You get self-conscious, things like that.
Yeah, no. She would have been taught all of the proper ways to be a proper lady, and kind of every time she meets somebody new, just kind of, just her brain just defaults to auto mode and does all of that. Like when Lydia came up, introduced herself and everything, you would have seen Straya stand up a little straighter and pull her dress down and fix her sleeves and stand very primly, and then realize what she was doing. But she enjoys interacting with the people so much more because they don't expect her to act a certain way, the way everybody else does. And she doesn't enjoy going to functions with her family. She's not really allowed to talk to anybody. She's not allowed to get some of the really nice pastries over on that table. And she'll usually sneak out with like the maids and her ladies in waiting, because they always sort of keep some of like the food for her to have afterwards. Because those parties usually have dignitaries from other planets, and she'll that's her taste of sort of the outside world. And that is the only thing that she likes about those things. She feels comfortable being herself around people like this. It's just sometimes, her brain goes on automatic and is a little triggered, like right now with Lydia, and so she does that automatic sort of standing up straighter and fixing herself up, and then looks at Sebastian, makes a mental note to never call him Bash.
Amazing. Amazing. Lydia, could you roll me 4d6? But I'm not going to tell you why yet.
Totally. All right, that is 2 5s and 2 and a 4. So that is. But do I really mess with Rara here and use one of my 3 rerolls?
I mean, you gotta at some point.
I gotta use them. I think the people have spoken. They've given me the opportunity.
Give more opportunities, people.
I would be a fool not to take it, and that is 1 6. So that is all I need. No ones, by the way.
As you kind of look over the head of Bash and Straya, you see a strange star that should not be there yet. But it's a very long ways away. Okay. Voss, how do you, are you the host of the table? Like, are you the one that makes everyone talk and like how do you keep this strange party going for like a montage of time?
He got the 10 credits. pocketed 2 of them, used the rest of them to go to the bar and brought back the biggest drinks for everybody, and just came through and was just like, look what I got. I just found these, and then plops them on the table in front of everybody. We're having a good time. Listen, here's it. Okay, so Lydia, this is Sebastian, or we call him Bash sometimes because it's cute.
Yeah, that was-
I don't know if
Yeah.
what.
No, go on.
Your response?
No, go on. No,
What
go
is-
on.
I'm
No,
sensing some weird energy here. Did I miss
Would
something?
you like to roll 4d6, Voss, to see what this energy you're sensing is?
You get the energy.
4d6, you said?
Yeah, because we had the 2 ones earlier still.
That's 1 6, no ones.
Oh. What is the weird energy Voss is picking up, Lydia?
Oh, there's no. It's
Can't lie to Voss.
Yeah, tell us, Lydia.
It's the. Oh, is Voss asking Lydia what the weird energy is, or is Ra asking me to introspect right now?
And Voss
Voss
picked
is-
up weird energy, but you can kind of explain what that energy would be,
Okay.
but not verbally to Voss.
The energy is it's strange to be introduced to someone you knew as a child as if you were a stranger. Being told their nickname that you gave them as children. And she goes to interrupt and say that she knows. But she hasn't been here in over 10 years. What does she really know, really, at the end of the day? So she lets Voss continue. No, please, continue.
Even the stories we start don't always wait for us, Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
Voss?
We are going to have words later. Yeah, so that's Sebastian. This is Straya. Very wonderful, wonderful friend of mine. And then of course you know your brother. Yeah, which is crazy. But you guys are Star Twins. Here, everybody have a drink.
Thank you.
Everybody's pretty good.
Whereabouts
Did
are
you
you
take
from?
these from
Voss?
another table?
Yeah.
Also a good
oh,
question.
oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. So if you go over there, there's a place that's called a bar. And
That's
if you hand
not
them
what I
credits.
meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just...
You said you found them, the drinks.
Mhm. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I found them at the bar. I was just
Right. I should have guessed.
okay. Did I misstep? Am I?
No, you're fine. You're
Oh,
fine.
okay. So anyway,
Voss is a lot. I'm just gonna say it to everyone. Voss is a lot.
why do you keep saying these things to me? I thought we were friends.
We are friends. We are friends.
You're not
We are-
acting like it.
No, I am protecting those from the harm that you can commit without being properly prepared.
No,
Arm.
that's-
Voss is a lot like a perfect Saturday morning is a lot. You might be tired and need a nap at the end, but you're so happy you had that time.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Daro does consider Voss his best friend. Like, there is no mistaking it. It's just every chance that he can, he tries to give Voss a hard time.
And Sebastian is
thing.
prone to
Yeah.
being overly defensive of Voss, I would say also.
So, the trick is that you have to drink these as fast as you can, like just quick.
Yeah,
And he essentially
we
like
race it.
handed everybody a 24-ounce, like something or other. You just gotta take it back. It's real fast.
I mean, I'd love to watch the expert at work.
Oh.
Of course you would.
Yes, please. Go first and show us.
Okay, Ash Ketchum.
Voss, if you could roll us 4d6 as you show them the expert at work.
I'm gonna use a reroll. It wasn't bad, but it could be better.
That's perfect. That's fine.
And it was. That's 2 6 no ones.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to my new band, 2 6 no ones.
Without a hiccup, without like a gulp or a stumble, do you drink the entire thing?
It's legit this. Like, he's like, okay, here we go. Ready?
Mhm.
The force is strong with this one.
So that's how you. Oh, sorry. That one's got a
need a
lot of
bag.
carbonation.
Asteria gives you a little clap.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was actually impressive. I don't think I've ever seen anybody drink that quickly.
You never will.
And you hear singing as the youth choir of New Hope takes to the stage before the big ribbon cutting. You see the beautiful youths, all perfect and proud of their new city and the world they will inherit from their parents and grandparents, singing a song about light shining in the darkness. Darrow, could you roll me 4d6 to see if you notice something that Lydia already did?
Sure. 46, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Gonna make you roll.
Okay. First of all, I just want it to be known that somehow I got 4 threes. I just want that to be known. I don't know what that means about the universe, but I will also go ahead and use one of my rerolls because I think it's fair to go and use as many of my resources as possible.
Oh, it is. And you only have less dice to reroll as you go forward, so it's smart.
Okay. Okay. 1611.
God
Okay.
Hey, there was 1 in there.
Shout out. Shout out to our sister band, 1611.
You also see a star where a star should not be, especially during the day, especially at this angle. That's all.
Asteria looks around at everybody as Logan's like looking up. You know, there is something, positive something that comes out of being a lady. And she giggles and walks up, gets up from the table and walks over to where the band is playing. And asks them if they know a certain song, which they do.
They do.
And she gets up with them, and sort of starts to play with them for that song.
Would you roll me 3d6 as they hand you this instrument that is unnamed and
3.
mysterious? Because of the one from Ian's last roll. Oh no, Dara's
Can I
last
use
roll.
a reroll?
Yes, please.
Robert's like, yeah, use them all now. Get rid of them now.
1 6, no ones.
Paint us a picture of the song that you requested. Like, what is it about? What mood does it create in people who were born here and people who toiled here?
It is, well, it's a song that she was taught. So by her like music teachers, they always have all of the daughters learn a couple of songs as little party tricks for, when they have those occasions with all the council members and all of that. And so it is a song that almost everybody knows, and you can hear a couple of drunk people sort of chime in and start singing along and chanting along to it. It has a dance that goes along with it. She can't quite dance while playing her instrument that she borrowed, but there is, I think, the most drunk in the crowd, even though it's still a little early, but some people, get really ahead of themselves, start sloppily dancing around. And it is a song of the people, and it talks about how the pacifism, how being united and being together and talking things out. It's just the greatness of that and how it makes things greater than its parts. And she chose it because of the occasion. You know, this town has just been rebuilt. So it is sort of, this was because of everyone here. Look at what we've done. Isn't it great? Now that the hard work is done, we get to sit and enjoy it and bask in it, what we have created together. Sort of that type of thing. And so the dance starts in pairs, and then people start joining in, and it ends up being this big circle of people just spinning around until somebody sort of stumbles.
And we see an image over this of the week after the earthquake, of rubble, most people having already been dug up and rescued or put away, and you see all the volunteers singing this song a cappella in this broken space and going about the exact same movements. And then here we see a young, like 8-9-year-old femme couple in the middle, and one of them lifts the other as high as they can, trying to spin them. But it's only a few inches, just like yourself. Maybe they will reach the stars one day. Voss, can you please roll me 3d6 as you maybe catch something out of the corner of your eye, Voss? It's something big, Voss.
1-6. No ones.
Oh, damn it. You see a large
6, 2, and a
star
5.
that should not be there.
Can I roll 3d6 to see if that resonates with anything with me?
Yeah, I would love it if you did, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
We haven't lost a candle in so long. Use those rerolls.
Okay, 1-6-1-1.
God damn it.
EP
You remember
dropped this in.
plans. You remember plans you shouldn't have seen. Vague, light drawings in the middle of a room that was hanging there when you walked in when you weren't supposed to be there. Of a very large spaceship, not a star destroyer. We're past that. Something bigger. That's all that would come to mind, but that's been years ago.
It's like I think if anybody looked at Voss, you would see that normal face that he has steals really hard, and he's like, "That's interesting."
Can I roll 2d6 to see if I catch that?
Oh,
expression?
you definitely can.
That's a 6 and a 4.
You catch it, you notice it, you see him looking at what you already looked at. Darrow, could you roll me 2d6 to see if you notice Lydia noticing Voss noticing that, while Strea's singing, and Sebastian just watching?
Yeah, 6 and a 5.
You notice this. Cinematically, we see the three of you at the table, like, glancing around while Sebastian's getting, like, cornered of his eyes, liquid, being like, she's just so good at this. Like, not even noticing what's going on between the three of you as Straya is singing and finishing up the song on the stage.
So, y'all see that?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's not
Dara, you
supposed to be there.
remember what I was talking about earlier?
Yep.
Looks like a moon. Nah, it can't be a
Mhm.
moon. Wait, what were y'all talking about?
Where are you from, Voss?
From homie.
You want to try that again?
I think it does.
No, I don't. That's what
Alarms
it's-
start ringing out from the top of street lamps and street lights around the downtown. The planet proximity machines have picked something up. Something is approaching the orbit that should not be there. And you hear these loud and people start looking up. People yell. Some people just start dancing now that there's a new beat that's been added, as Estrella's final note like rings out, as though it is the last song that will ever be sung here.
We know that, like, we know what that is in the sense of
Mhm.
like why they would be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's, um,
Rhea runs down from the stage to sort of, well, to meet up with the group. She grabs Sebastian's hand.
He steps to you in that last step. You never have to go all the way. And he takes your hands while looking at the table, like with an alarm. He is intelligent. He understands this shouldn't be happening, but he's never been military or anything of that sort, or rebellion, really. So he's looking to those who he knows not to ask too many questions of.
I think Lydia stands very quickly. She looks around. Are there any of like the security droids still around?
Oh, why don't you roll me 2d6? Not to
Why?
see if you see them, but to see if they're there.
Just to see
I will
if
say
they're
Lydia does
there.
also see Voss stand up really quickly too and put
Uh-huh.
his hand to the side super fast.
Okay. I'm gonna use one of my rerolls,
How many are
baby.
left?
I think I'll have one more after this.
You wonderful
Ugh,
donators
and
out
I'm
there.
gonna use it right now. Come on, guys. Please. Nope, that's just a failure. No ones either. I can't even use my anything.
These things we know are true. The galaxy is a dark place, and for a moment, maybe this solar system is heading there. We're going to go through and add some truths quickly in this process because the pace is about to pick up. Lydia, what is a truth you would like to add to our world?
A truth. A truth is that there are shuttles that can get people off planet.
Of course there are. I mean, any planet, especially one with the tourism of Alderaan, would have such shuttles.
Mhm.
Hopefully they're fast. Dara, what is a truth you would like to add to the festival, to the world, to yourself?
That only the problem is a lot of them are currently being refabbed and reworked. So there are only maybe a handful, enough for a small community to escape, if need be.
Fantastic. Voss, what's something you've heard? What's the scuttlebutt?
Even though that there are ships that can be used, but most of them are being fabricated. The ones that they're available only hold a very small amount of people, no more than 10.
I will add. It's unsure if shuttles would get far enough away from the impact of what could happen here to avoid the gravitational pull of the explosion. Because I don't know if your shuttles have light speed. That doesn't seem like a shuttle thing, in my opinion. But one of you could add that at another truth at some point. And Straya, the final truth from the table.
She wasn't just running from her family because of those invisible shackles she's always lived with, but she recently found out some unsavory dealings her father was having with somebody from off planet.
There had been whispers about that. No one said the word empire or traitor, but they did whisper it. And the sixth truth, and we are alive. And in a moment, we see a droid projecting a picture in that same cave room in front of Luke and this man in brown, and it is a femme in white who is facing the droid, and you hear her say, "You're our only hope." And she reaches forward to record the message. And we are back here. People are beginning to run. You see the fear of civilians in an unsure moment mixed with alcohol that had already been served to some. People are tripping. You see a few almost getting stampeded on in the rush, others stopping to pick them up. But a panic is going through this space. Where are the security droids? Lydia's still thinking, as none of them have shown up. And you do see a few injuries, but people helping one another at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Dara, I need you to get to the hangar now.
Oh, okay. Where am I?
Go
What am I
there.
going?
Look for my X-wing. Go there. Do not stop until you get there. Do you understand?
Yeah, I got it. And he holds out his hands. Keys. I'll get it ready.
Lydia does like kind of do a little toss of the keys to Darrow.
He'll catch it, if allowed.
Yeah. Get her ready. You, Voss, do you have a ship?
Yeah, but I'm gonna need some help with it if you have a couple moments.
Yeah. We'll get, and then Bash. Do you still have your
Bash
ship?
looks at Straya like not wanting to say the wrong thing in this moment.
Man, we're about to die. Stand up.
Do you two have a ship?
We have a ship. It just got done being put together. We were going to leave today.
Go there now, both of you. Don't
You're
stop
going to leave
until
now.
you get there.
You're going to leave now.
Are we attacking? What's going on?
That thing?
If
There's
it
no
is
stopping that thing.
hostile?
Yeah. I would
Do you know
call
what
it
it is?
hostile.
Yeah, how do you know?
That doesn't matter right now. What I know is that if it hits us, there is no getting out. There's no stopping what's coming.
We're leaving everyone?
I'm going to try to get people together as much as I can. The shuttles aren't, I don't know if they're better than they were before, but they're not big. Everyone who has a ship needs to take it.
Takes Straya's hand and says it more matter-of-factly. We're leaving everyone.
Right now.
Do you need to call your sisters?
I don't know. I mean, they would have seen it too, whatever it is. I'm sure.
Your dad has a ship.
Right.
Would you feel safer if we went and got on your dad's ship? Because if you say the word...
She looks to our two experts in the matter right now. I mean, would either of you know how much time we have? If you have a sense of what this is.
Yeah, when will the Star Destroyers, breach our orbit? We should
No,
have a
they're
few
not.
hours.
They're not Star Destroyers. The station. The station is the weapon. No one is coming here. They're going to hit us from up there. We don't have time. We don't have time for this. You guys have to go.
Lydia's right. You guys should get to your ship now. And feel real bad.
You hear a blaster shot as a drunk person shoots another after they got into a scuffle trying to fit through a doorway.
Shit, we need to go.
At Sebastian. If we might not have time to go all the way back to my family estate, and even if we did, they would not let you come with us. So I'm staying here, and we'll go on our ship together.
We'll go together. If any of you need a ride, we can take you somewhere. Our ship is fast. Voss has been working on it, but then it'll just be us after that.
I'm gonna help Voss sort out his ship. Darrow, you get in the X-Wing. Wait for me there. I'll come as soon as I can. Voss,
Here we go.
lead the
Wow.
way.
Alarms even louder as the chaos begins to cover a world, not a city, for all can see or at least know because of the technology and everything of the place. The entire planet, you can feel, has a choke in its throat, maybe wishing it had a military, wondering where its princess is. What do we want to do first here? Let's do running to... No, let's do Darrow. You went ahead first with the keys. Roll me... what are we doing here? Roll me 5d6 to see how quickly and smoothly you're able to get through these crowds of a lot of people running to their ships.
0 success. No
Any
ones,
ones?
no ones, no sixes, nothing. Just
Are there
just
any more
failure.
rerolls for...
So here's the thing. I think I am out. I know I've used them. But
I think that's a live counter. I think they're editing
Oh.
it as more coming in type of deal.
oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but that's what I thought.
Okay. Otherwise, I was gonna say, can I use my my virtue or?
You can only do virtue or vice to reroll once.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I have been told I have one reroll remaining, so let me do
Okay.
that.
Deal.
Let me do that.
All 5.
Okay, 1 6 2 1s.
I mean, that's perfect. You're not moving as fast as you hope, but you don't have to shoot anyone on the way. You do... Here's the decision you'll have to make in this moment. You can get there faster than that roll would allow, or you go slower to have to stop people who need help.
I think I'm stuck mentally between listening to my older sister, who I like really do respect, but I can't. New Hope just, is celebrating coming back from destruction, and to see the people destroy it, or even just this moment of panic, really gets to him. So I am gonna go slower and at least try to de-escalate as I'm running. And it can, in some instances, it is just me yelling, "Hey, stop it! You know what? This is wrong. Get your head on straight." And sometimes it's like literally charging someone over and like throwing them to the ground and like, get out of here, go now.
And during this phase of all this, you remember that Lydia left this community to go see the forest and maybe missing out on these trees that you've grown to love, watching them build and watching them grow. For fun, would you like to roll me 3d6 as you break up an altercation, hopefully?
Absolutely, I will. I got a 3, a 2, and a 1. So
You could use a vice or virtue. Whichever one you have on the top.
I just put virtue on the top. So I will. My virtue is loyal. I'm loyal.
That's perfect. So
I-
re-roll that 1-1.
Okay. Just the one. Actually, I have
Mhm.
physical dice. I'll roll for that. Oh, only a 4.
These things we know to be true. Everywhere is a dark place. If I could have a truth from you, Darrow, as another candle is extinguished, and we all see it grow a little bigger in the sky.
This is a personal truth. Darrow was always jealous that Lydia left.
Well, you've got the keys. Sorry, Voss, would you like to add a truth to the world?
As Lydia and Voss are making their way over to his ship, Lydia's in front of him, and he steadily has his hand on his blaster while following them.
Amazing. I'm going to add that the militia that trains at your ranch is now out and about trying to help, but very much so trying to head towards it. That's why they want a ship. And Stray, if you could add the final truth from the table.
In her father's dealings, they had been asked to lend out some of their ships for something that was going on that we don't really know about. And so up on that hill, there's only about a quarter of the ships. There usually is, even for the affluent people.
And we are alive. We see not the same cave with Luke and who we now know to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. We see the inside of a space station with Empire higher up sitting around strategizing. Two figures enter the room, one in a standard uniform and one head to toe in black, with a helmet and a cape. And there's these interactions, and all we hear is that the Emperor has dissolved the Senate. And a few minutes later, we hear the one in black say, "I find your lack of faith disturbing." And we come back down here to the ground. There is now the sound of more chaos than before. You hear fighting as ships are being taken from people. The song of community and unity is now fallen on the ground like all these pieces of cake wrapper and toys as best friends are turning on each other for the chance to save their own family. Who is where right now? You and Sebastian are heading to your ship. Dare, you went there first. You made your way, you helped everyone, you got it going and everything, you're safely there. Lydia, Voss, where were you going? You were going to Voss's ship.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting
Yeah.
choice. Which one of you would like to roll me the 5d6 for kind of leading the way through the crowd?
5.
Is that correct? Am I wrong, Tot? Are we at 4?
They were at 4 now.
I mean, I meant 4. I have a lot of numbers written down. If you could roll me 4d6.
4. I'm gonna burn my virtue, determined.
Which makes sense since you've never been to Voss's house.
I've never been to Voss's house, but I'm determined to get there. You know, I'm so determined to get there. I only rolled 1-1, so let's see what happens here, guys. That's a failure.
These things we know to be true. The world, the universe, the galaxy is getting darker, almost like it's being eclipsed by something larger than the city. Lydia, would you like to give me a truth, if you would?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a truth. Some of the ships that were already in the sky, people who had decided to come to Alderaan for the festival or just to visit, they've turned back. They're leaving. They are not landing on this planet anymore.
Like wishes leaving your sky, these shooting stars fly away from Alderaan. Daro, could you give us a truth, and then Voss would be the end of this round at the table?
I think that somewhere on Alderaan there is a family, none that we know, but on the other side of the planet, far away enough that is ready and is already in the atmosphere.
Perfect day to leave for vacation. Voss, do you have the final truth from the table? Sorry, I dropped my pen and picked it up with my toe and almost fell.
Jeez. The screams and the panic of everyone reminds Voss of why he left. And you can tell that his gleefulness and his disguise drops as they make it, or try to make it towards the ship, because he knows what's about to happen.
And we are alive. We see Luke weeping and overwhelmed, digging 2 graves outside of his childhood home before he and Obi-Wan jump into a speeder and begin heading their way to a settlement where they will tell them that these are not the droids you're looking for. We come back. Voss, you have seen people get hurt in this process of moving towards your ship. Each time that happens, it's you. Straya, you and Sebastian, if you could make a roll for me as you are both moving through the crowd, because I'm not going to make Sebastian roll. If you could roll 3d6 for me.
Mm. 2 ones, no 6s, so I'm gonna use
You
a
have
reroll.
you have 2 rerolls, Yuri.
Yeah.
Mhm.
2 5s and a 4. I'm gonna use my last reroll.
Beautiful, beautiful.
1 6, no 1s.
Fantastic. It is more of a struggle than you would like it to be, but you are certainly making your way through. Unfortunately, I will ask you the same question I asked Daro. When you see people in need on your way to your ship, is your dream bigger than your heart in this moment?
She would. I think she would have turned to Sebastian to ask, can we not fit anyone else with us?
If we tell them we have room for 1, 4 or 5 of them could try to take the whole thing. Like a lifeboat that can't fit everyone. But I will follow you in any decision here, whether it's dark or light.
I want to tell you something. I said that we couldn't go back because I didn't think they would let you board with us. Truth is, they don't have all of their ships right now. And if only part of the family could be saved, I don't think they would let me board either.
There's panic moving around both of you in the street as he picks you up and turns you in a hug. Over your shoulder, we see 2 Empire smaller ships taking up from your family's residence and flying away quickly. As he turns you in the middle of the world ending. You ignore them all. You only see each other. and you move forward. Darrow, you have made it to the ship. I'm going to say it right now. With those rolls, each of you made it to where you were going. Whether it took a little bit of time, et cetera, you're all there. Darrow, you were first. How are you just getting it going? How long does it take to start up? Like, what if your sister doesn't get here in time, Darrow?
I'm single-minded. I'm listening to my sister. I am getting the ship X-Wing running. So I'm trying to open the door as quickly as I can using the key. I'm going to start it up. And I think there's a bit of fumbling because I don't do flying machines. I know how. I have basic lessons, you know. It's not, if you can't fly across the planet, how can I transport all my cattle, you know, type of thing. But this is a new ship. This is something I've never touched before, and the nerves and the reality of the situation is like totally sinking in, totally making me just feel that lump in my throat go deeper and deeper until it's right in my gut, and I'm going, is this it? Is this it?
Could you roll me 3d6 as you are
Absolutely.
attempting to figure out a new ship?
Got a 6, a 4, and a 1.
It takes a second because everything's different. You see that they have like a sticky note on a stick that you put upside down because it makes more sense to you that way. You're just kind of getting the seat positioned correctly. But you do not see Lydia running around that corner as though you were kids again, begging you to come home for the evening, play a little longer, let's just stay out one more time. It's just strangers and it's just fear all around you, as so many of these ships are being overloaded with individuals while you sit empty, just yourself, in this one.
I think that like gets to me and my heart grows heavy. And I just whisper under my breath, like, where are you, Lydia? Where are you?
And we go to Lydia and Voss. Is your ship flyable, Voss? I know you had vines and stuff over it. I didn't know if that meant it was just overgrown or hidden.
It's hidden. And I think as we approach the TIE fighter, Lydia sees it.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Voss realizes that they can see it, he pops a shot at their leg.
Could you please roll me 2d6 for that shot? Because Logan rolled a 1.
Yep.
That's a 6 and a 2.
Oh my god.
Was it set to
Of all-
stun?
Yes.
No.
No. Yes.
Okay. You're just
would
giving
still-
me dead leg is what you're doing?
It would
Simply for
still
the fact of
damage the
that-
leg, I'm sure.
yeah. Simply for the fact that this is Darrow's sister. But I think once you either turn around or realize what happened, you see Voss and he goes, what type of rebel nonsense have you brought to this planet?
What type of rebel nonsense have I brought to this planet? You're a fucking Imperial.
Hey, listen. I've been here for quite some time, apparently longer than you, and I haven't had a single incident like this. What have you brought here? What have you been doing the past 10 years?
What have I been doing? I've been trying to take down your employers, apparently.
And look at what you're going to do. Now this entire plan is going to suffer because you showed up.
I didn't bring them here.
Well, it seems coincidental that you show up and now this is happening. I've been saying this for years to people. Why do you think I walk around talking like this? Because it's an easy way to communicate a message to the masses. It's a huge gun. And you
think
brought
people
it
take
here.
you seriously? You think people take you seriously when you act that way?
It's not whether they take me seriously or not. It's whether they hear it and they can comprehend it. I'm sorry that I'm not standing on some soapbox and being some crazy rebel out in the trenches doing this. This is
We
what
don't
you
have
do.
time for this. We don't have time for this. Is what I do. For all I know, you helped build that.
Yes.
Did it feel good? Does the blood of
Yes.
innocence feel good on your hands?
I don't remember.
You just shot me. You're not exactly
Yeah.
earning yourself a lot of brownie points here.
And I don't have any room to lie to you right now.
So what? Why did you bring me here? To kill me
Because
or
no. So you can fly this out. X-Wing's not going to be enough. You need to be able to get under the radar. It still has my old transmission codes on it. You can use it. You can cloak yourself. Leave.
why are you doing this?
Because I'm old Voss. And I'm tired.
You're gonna have to help me up.
You'll be fine. You just got a dead leg.
Yeah. Help me into the ship.
Oh, please. We're out there doing rebel things. You can't even stand up with a Charlie horse.
You shot me.
Our camera shows this awkward helping up, and then for a moment shows Darrow sitting alone, like just looking, just waiting. And then we go to Stray and Sebastian, who have made it to their ship, and it's getting it all up and going. It was ready to leave today. The only thing missing is a weird little envelope he was stressed about earlier. But I would like you to make rolls for me, Stray, because I don't want Sebastian to roll. Could you roll me 2d6 to see how fast you can get all of this ready?
1611.
Amazing. It's right there. You can see a moment of panic flash over his eyes as though something was wrong, and then he flips a bunch of switches, and like the lights go green, and there's a big sigh of relief. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna let the towers know we're leaving. I don't want them to accidentally shoot us down or anything. Just 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds. I love you.
I love you too. Do you think they're going to be all right? Your friends?
He kind of just looks up at the sky. He's like, I think we're a little past being all right. But I hope they're safe.
They looked like they could take care of themselves. You've
I
got
just need to take care of my family.
good friends.
And he starts revving it up like the little hover a few feet above the issue of the landing. When you look out of the window before possibly taking off soon, where is the last place your eye falls on the city?
He looks towards our family's estate now. With the lights off, it's so hard to see. There's so many trees everywhere. So if the lights on the windows aren't on, and they usually always are, you could miss it. And that's the whole point. It blends in with the nature, with the beauty of this planet. That was something that they all tried so hard to not harness, but form a symbiotic relationship with it, where even the dress that she's wearing right now, their clothes, the architecture, everything, was not to take away from the beauty of the planet, but mold to it and be part of it, because this planet is truly beautiful. And she thinks that in another life, had she been born into a different family, had she been born here in a little town like this, you would have been able to really enjoy her life here and wouldn't have wanted to leave.
It starts vibrating as though it's going to take off, and he puts a small sack in your lap filled with cakes that was nabbed off of a table as you ran out from the now abandoned courtyard. Those little lights that you mentioned earlier just starting to glow a little brighter, as though this is the time the universe needs it. Darrow, people are banging at the door. Ships are already taking off. You see blasters being drawn as the desire to live is overwhelming morality in a moment. Do you and your sister have a comm of any type? Like, can you call their jacket from the ship, things of that sort?
I would assume there's some kind of. I'll look for like
Oh,
what I would assume is that.
wonderful. Would you like to roll me?
The
You rolled a
one.
1, correct? Yeah, a 1d6, please, as you look.
And this is bound to happen, right? I got a 2, so
Amazing. Do you still have? What is your next mechanic down? Is it just your vice?
Yep.
Fantastic.
I wish I could have used it because my vice is cowardice.
Oh man.
You're pushing these buttons and like asking for Lydia, and there's nothing coming back. Maybe you're just nervous. There's people banging on the door, like right outside of there. Elsewhere, we see Lydia and Voss trying to get another ship going. Here's what we're going to do, my dear table. There are rolls for taking off before something happens. If you succeed, your ship can maybe lift off, begin to fly away. We'll see how many of you get through that before something happens. So we're going to go to Voss and Lydia, because I'm not sure if Voss is staying here, if Lydia's just taking the ship right now and going, or what's the situation? Dead leg rocket?
Yeah.
I think Voss is going, okay, and then so you flip that switch, and then it just going right back into the voice. And then you gotta press that button, okay? Now hold on. You hold this down slowly.
Okay.
Slowly.
Okay.
Push that up. Boom. Now everything's activated. That one's jump. This one right here is the clutch. And these are fuzzy dice.
These are really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So once you have everything set up like that, right? Launch console's right there. Press that button, and then you push. Comms are over here. There's a mini fridge in the back. Get off the planet.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're staying?
I got a couple nerfs I need to herd.
Thank you for looking after my brother.
Yeah, well, I owe him a lot of money.
Well, consider your debt paid. There are no more bars.
Yeah. I think the back of the TIE fighter like falls down into a ramp, and he grabs one of his blasters, and then like in this incredible feat of athleticism, somersaults off that mother and goes, "Have fun," and then takes off back into the town.
Voss, as you pass any bodies for the first time, they no longer look like you. Lydia, could you roll me 1d6 in the final before takeoff, beginning to go into orbit moment right here with a new ship yourself?
Yeah.
Your brother not with you.
It's 6. It's 6. It's 6.
Voss, you watch. Does this ship have a name?
Oh
No.
my god. I do.
Yeah, it's D12237-5. That's the name.
You see Classic -5 beginning to like vibrate, lift, and in that only Star Wars way where the jets grow orange and almost like come to a funnel.
And immediately the fucking Bluetooth speaker hits on, and then it's just, "I want you to be mine." as you take off.
That is amazing.
I'm gonna calm my ship if I can, because I know how to do that.
You can.
I will say this too, Rara. Like, I think if before, like Lydia like fully like sees Voss, he puts his stormtrooper helmet back on.
Oh my god.
Just the helmet. Just the helmet, and he takes off.
You run past bodies and chaos, even some fire from the hurry and the rush of everything. hearing those old sounds, your movements of your body falling right back into the natural pace. Where are you going, Voss?
He goes right back to the farm. He opens the Nerf gate, and he gets the biggest one that's there, whose name is Latrina.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes up to Latrina, pets them, jumps on the back of her, and just starts tearing across the town. And he's popping people who are preventing people from escaping.
Mm-hmm.
That is just an amazing cinematic image. Straya, as you and Sebastian are about to, could you please roll me 1d6 to see if you break orbit?
Yeah. Asteria notices that as he's panicking and trying to get the controls under control, his hands are shaking. And she comes up behind him and puts her hands on his. Do you remember the first time we snuck me out? That was the first time I ever even thought that I could do or be anything else than this. You showed me that if I tried hard enough, I could be whatever I wanted to be. And then I realized that after a while of us, trying to get you blueprints and all of that, and a lot of sneaking around, that the only thing I wanted to be was with you. And I am with you right now. So. And she'll just kiss him, and I will roll to see what happens.
And you kiss him as the ship begins to start accelerating in this moment. Do you have your vice or virtue? Because you could burn that for the one.
I do. My virtue is sincere.
It kind of stalls before it, and he almost hits another ship that took off right in front of you and brakes real fast. If you want to roll me that one again.
Look at it. Another one.
Is your vice the next one by any chance? Because you can burn your vice.
Is.
If there's a narrative reasoning at even loosely.
So my vice is hesitant, but I will not burn it because I think this is
amazing.
The surest she's ever been of something in her life. I was telling him these words.
He kisses you back and says, excitement, home, love does not crave these things. And as you take off, another ship comes across and hits you in the air, and it bursts into a ball. It's heard, but it's heard with a mixture of many stories ending before they reach a beautiful moment. And a candle goes out. We are not going to be adding truths right now, I'm going to say, because you do not have a lot of sway over the world in this moment, and for time, and the dear sake of our producer. We would feel like Straya's explosion, that star we can see on the horizon burning, to be special if there were not dozens of them across the sky. If love stories would maybe look a little different when they die, it would be easier to tell the important ones. Darrow, you hear a comm beeping in this space, and then I'd say just Lydia's voice.
Hey, kid.
What's going on? What's happening?
Your friend gave me his ship.
Okay, where is he?
He's staying. I don't know what
Okay.
kind of crazy friends you have, but
I-
he gave me the ship. He's decided to stay.
That dumbass. No, like we gotta get him. We have to get Voss.
Dara, we don't have time. This is what he wants. You have to let him. You have to take off. I have an R2 in the back. It should be able to navigate for you. Just turn on the ship and go.
Where are you?
I'm in his TIE fighter. I'm in the air already. You need to get up.
Okay. You need to get out of here. Stop looking back here. Stop looking back at me. You escaped once. I need to make sure you escape again. So,
Darrow, turn on the ship. You said you got it. You said you were going to get it prepped. If you got it prepped, just get in the air.
I'll try, but you have to promise me you're also going to get out of here. That if I mix up or if someone, I don't know, hits me or anything, you don't look back. Promise me.
I promise. I promise. Now get your ass in the air.
And with that, he turns off the comm and starts to get the ship up and turn on the R2 unit.
And right before you roll me 2d6, there's the banging on the door, people pleading, begging, faces you know. And on a distant space station, Leia is looking down on Alderaan and lies about where a rebel base is. If you could roll me 2d6.
Got a 6 and a 5.
You dodge other ships zigging and zagging, a little clumsy with it not being yours. You now interrupting your sister's story as your sister has taken over Voss's. As both of your ships are able to get out. Drea, your ship's no longer a concern. Voss, some people have noticed you in the stormtrooper outfit. Seeing this station in the air and a stormtrooper here on the streets. Could you roll me 2d6 just to simply dodge some of these blasters that are being shot back at you as you ride on Latilda, was it?
Latrina.
Latrina, that's right.
Hey, you're not gonna believe this.
I probably will.
2, count them. 2 6s.
It all comes back to you, Voss. 2 billion people that don't look like you. As you race through on Latilda.
Latrina.
Latrina, sorry. Trying to help people get free of skirmishes and situations and moments. You hear screams from a fire. You hear people wandering around lost, like asking for parents, asking for older siblings, not knowing where to go.
I think if Voss can see one ship that looks like it's able to get off the planet, he tucks his blaster behind him and he looks over to the voices of the people who are screaming, or in this case, to the children that are screaming for their parents, and grabs them and just charges the Nerf straight towards it. And knowing that they're gonna get a little banged up, he like tosses them on that ship and just yells, like, "You need to go now!" And then turns around and just keeps going and trying to stop fights.
Amazing. Roll me 2d6 if you would. I'll tell you why.
It's a 6, 4.
You see Straya and Sebastian's ship explode. Just pulling off out of the garage.
He didn't use the fusion core. He doesn't listen. Oh.
I think. Here's what I think, for the sake of time and where we're at, and what is about to happen either way. Voss could fail and succeed some rolls, but they will not be able to fly themselves on Latilda. Latilda? No.
Latrina.
Latrina, sorry. They will not be able to fly. I'm just going to write it down. Latrina off of this planet. There could be small victories, but hopefully everyone will learn that sometimes small victories cannot stop giant darkness. The two star siblings, one in an empire ship and one in a rebellion. The two lovers, Ash, like so many others in this world, and one unhinged stormtrooper who was right the whole time, sits down on Latilda, watching a bright glow beginning to form in the sky.
God, I fucking hate Jedi.
We don't watch the world be destroyed. We see a hated Jedi in brown kind of stagger and sit on a ship and look at their companion and just say, I felt a great disturbance in the Force. Like a million of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. Thank you for joining us for the last day of Alderaan for Star Wars BIPOC charity weekend. I haven't been watching the chat, but I'm thankful you're there. I'm sorry I didn't kill everybody. This has been fantastic, and I've wanted to do this concept for a year, and I'm so excited that the channel and this beautiful table let me do it. We will not be doing some things 10 Candles usually makes us do right now, just because we went all the way there and I did not think we would. So I would love everyone to introduce themselves really quick so we can be respectful of everyone's time. I'm Rara, but hey, that's enough about that. I run and created The Heart is a Dungeon. It's a little fledgling podcast that's around sometimes here and there. But let's meet our amazing cast. Let's start with the first person who died. Yuri, do you have a name? What is it? I'm sorry.
I do have a name, and would you guess it's Yudi? There you go. So, hey everyone, my name is Yudi, pronouns she, they. Today I played Drea, pronouns she, her, who died in the arms of her love. She never really got to touch the stars. And y'all can go ahead and find me at Beauty and the Beast absolutely everywhere. I am an AP nomad who guests on a whole bunch of other people's channels. I bully my friends to let me play with them. So just go check out my socials to see where I'll be next.
Amazing thing. It was so good to play with you again, by the way. Who else died? Wait, you guys are... Oh, well, Ian died next, for sure. Ian, do you have a name? Would you like to tell us it?
Oh, what's going on, everybody? I'm Ian, or your boy Big on all social media, and I do mean all social media. Pick one, type in YABOIG, BOBIG. I had so much fun, and you'll find me. And if you don't find me on social media, let me know so we can monopolize it. Yeah, I too am also an AP nomad, but not as cool as Yiri. And I'd be floating around, so just follow my socials to know what I'm doing next.
Yeah, it's our 1-year anniversary.
It really is, to the day. We've been friends for a year.
I'm gonna say Darrow died next.
Wait a second.
Years away.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just gonna assume.
We'll assume. Yeah.
It's a dark world out there.
It is. There is some hope.
You have a name, Logan. This was the first time we've ever played together.
This is the first time we've played. This is the first time I played with everyone here. So, like, this has been fantastic. Y'all have been amazing. I love this. So much love. Hi, I'm Logan, formerly known as Logan the GM. Now you can catch me at Hollow Orange. So it's either Hollow_Orange or Hollow Orange as one word, just depending on where the internet allowed me to use said name. I am not a nomad, I guess. Technically, I'm part of a group called Apochromatic Unlimited. We're an all POC TTRPG collective. We help raise the voices of POC within the TTRPG space. We look forward to you listening to our stuff because it's fantastic. And let's see. I said where you can catch me. I said where my name is. Yeah, I said what I do. You're all amazing. This has been fantastic, and I'm happy my first 10 Candles game was this.
I would also like to plug Bloom and Blight, which is a wonderful podcast that Logan is in. I am on episode 9. The sound design is wonderful, and if you've heard Heart as a Dungeon, you know I'm not the expert on that. Tatiana, do you have a name? Are you signed to Rusty Quill?
I think those are both truths about me.
They are,
Um,
they are.
They are. Yes, hello. I am Tatiana, or Tot, as I was so wonderfully introduced. I am the writer, producer, and main actress in the solo TTRPG actual play / audio drama Soul Operator. I play through a solo game, and then I write a fully fledged audio drama narrative based on that gameplay. In terms of other actual play stuff, I am also a nomad. I have been on awesome channels and shows like The Heart is a Dungeon. I've been on Folk and Myth. I've been on Queer PG. I've been on Roll D5. I've been a lot of places. And you can see all of that on my website, which you can find linked on all my socials at Talk Coco, written in a couple different ways because the internet is like that. But you can definitely find me on Blue Sky at just Talk Coco with no funny letters or numbers or anything like that. It was an absolute privilege to play with all these people. I love Star Wars a lot. I've been wanting to play in a Star Wars game from the moment I entered the space, and I'm so grateful that it was with this lovely group of people. Shout out to my brother Daro. You'll be missed whenever it is you die.
Wow. um, we also want to thank our producer Calamity, who also put like this whole thing together. But let's just be honest. I approached Calamity like a month and a half early and was like, "Hey, I want to be in this event again. I loved it last year. I just want to make my own table. I need these specific types of people." And they were like, "Of course." And I was like, "Thank God." But that's how much I love this event. Is I had a mental memo a month early to get ready for it. Um, Community, it's Bay. What can I tell you? But thank you to Calamity and Telltale Hearts and everyone playing in all these games. There's more tomorrow. It's a great cause, great mask, Ian. I think we're ready to go to some sort of ending screen, but I'm always really bad at these sorts of things because I'm a podcaster. So if everyone wants to wave, we'll just keep doing that.